Mega Man.
Hey everybody, welcome to Real Person Reviews. I'm Sam. I'm a real person. Today I want to talk to you about Mega Man 2 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. A few things up front. I guess I'll kind of assume you know about Mega Man by now or have seen my review of the first Mega Man. And there's also a written review you can check out before, after, or instead of this video review. And also I played this on the Mega Man Legacy Collection on Nintendo 3DS, if that makes much of a difference. It's very accurate, I find, but I could be totally wrong, as this is kind of one of the first times I've been playing through these games, actually getting through them. Because years ago I tried them, I sucked ass at them, and never got anywhere. Now I'm actually getting through them, and so far so good, feeling great, got through 2 of them now. And, well, it could be fun to talk about, so let's talk about this one. I think that's all the stuff. Let's just go into the fuck. The Mega Man 2, pretty similar to the first one. It has a lot of similar, everything. The story is, Dr. Wily is now making his own master robots to try and take over the world. This is apparently supposed to be like I think a year later or something, after the first game, but same basic plot of Dr. Wily has master robots, 8 this time though, and he wants to take over the world with them, and Mega Man has to stop him again. It's how original, but it's just a premise, works just fine, I suppose. Gameplay is also largely the same. You jump around, you shoot, you go through the levels, and you can pick whatever stage you want in whatever order, and you can, try to go through the stage. It's a stage themed around whatever the robot master is. And there are, enemies and obstacles in the stage to overcome. There are some checkpoints. You die, you go back to the checkpoint, you lose all your lives, you got to start over or pick a different stage. That's still there. Although, if you get a game over or beat the stage, they did introduce the password system into here. So you can put that in to bring your progress back. If you have to shut the game off at any point, you can come back to just right where you were. And once again, defeating the Robot Master will give you their power. You can use their weapons and the stages, as well as using their weapons to fight other Robot Masters, and they'll have certain weaknesses to a specific weapon. So that whole thing is back, just with more of them. And once you beat all those stages, you then go to a set of linear Dr. Wily stages and try to take out Dr. Wily. Again, rinse and repeat, the same kind of stuff. You also, the items have been slightly altered to look a little different now. They also have taken away the scoring system, so that's out. So those items are gone as well. And you also get 3 things in here that are kind of similar, I guess, to the magnet beam thing, but 3 different items that can create these different kinds of platforms for you to use, which can be helpful in some of the main and the boss stages, and are actually necessary, which you will get them just from playing, so you'll have them by then, but necessary for the last set of linear stages in certain parts. So that's basically it. It's very similar, very, very similar. And I like it. I like it a lot because it definitely shows that this is the iconic Mega Man of, this is what people think of with Mega Man. They got the 8 master robots, they got the password system back in, they got some really awesome music in this one, some really catchy, and they've got, I think the art design is better in this one, it's more detailed, and, all around a lot more polish in this game than the first one. I like that the new items they put in, for the platformy things, can make different sections easier. The stages overall are longer, which is you might think, oh geez, but they're also a bit easier, which is nice because then it's just giving you more content without it feeling like padding. It doesn't feel brutally or unfairly hard for stuff for the most part. Also, the bosses have been balanced a lot better as far as how hard they are, where a lot of them were actually, humanly possible to beat just with your Buster if you're good, you know? So, like, that's cool, but you can still use their weaknesses and everything, and of course I like that you can pick the different stages, and it's like, well, if this stage is too hard for this guy, or the person's too hard, I'll go to a different stage, fight someone else first, and it gets around the roadblock of, I can't beat this linear stage, and some other games, and like kind of helps work around that to make it easier with stuff you get later. That's something I wanted to mention in the first one. I forgot. Whoops. But it applies to both, so I mentioned it here. So whatever. Most people are gonna skip that one anyways, and you know it. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff with that, and it's just overall, basically that's the main point, is that the balance and the polish. It just shows the potential that the first game had and wasn't necessarily living up to. Also, it's cool that Heatman's ability, like, you can charge that up and shoot it, which is like the first time you can, as far as I know, the first time you can do that in a Mega Man game. That's cool. It's just, you know, it also feels a little less sluggish too, I guess. It doesn't feel like there's the weird momentum thing in this one. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just crazy, but that's how I feel. And while I think they did a really good job with a lot of the stuff, it's still not, it's maybe not perfect. Like, they didn't really balance the weapons super well. Like, Metal Blade, you can shoot in like fucking like 8 directions and it goes all over the place, and it can kill stuff pretty effectively. And when you shoot it, you know, you can throw a bunch of them before you start running out of ammo, which is crazy. It's super useful, and it's kind of overpowered because of how effective it is against so many enemies and even some of the bosses. Whereas something like Flashman's, whatever the fuck that's called, his ability, like, stops time, and it just keeps stopping time until the meter runs out and you're out of ammunition. As far as I know, you can't really halt that at any point to conserve some and use it strategically. It just does that until it runs out. Then you have to refill it, and then you can use it again once you refill it some. And like, what the fuck is that? I don't know. Like, it only does damage, I think, to one of the Robot Masters, as far as I know. And even then, it's like not like it kills them or anything. Like, you know, most of the other, like, effectiveness ones do a lot of damage. That one, I guess, just effectively brings him down to like half health. It's weird. That's significantly less useful, of course. So I think that was a really strange choice. Weird unbalancing of the items themselves. Even though the Robot Masters are a little easier to take on, it just seemed like an odd choice. It still has a weird glitch where when you pause and then like unpause, like you fall off of ladders. That's weird. I don't know why they didn't get rid of that. If that was intentional or not, I don't know. But that's still there. And there's also a few levels, like, I think Quickman stage has a bullshit thing, and one of the Wily stages has this bullshit thing where you're falling down these screens, and, like, you don't know what's going to come up next, and you basically have to just play through them, and it's instant death shit. So you just have to die, you know, multiple times before you can get it down, and then go through a bunch of stages before getting to that section again anyways to retry it, which is also pretty frustrating. You shouldn't have to keep doing that. There should be a checkpoint right before it or something, or, you know, while your lives work, I don't know, maybe this shouldn't have sections like that are that kind of bullshit, because, again, it feels more like padding, and that's extra sad here, because a lot of the other stuff does not feel like padding. It feels like it's a lot better, and, I don't know, that was kind of rough. So I guess it does leave a little bit to be desired still, even if it is a lot more polished than the previous title. But it's still a lot more like, you know, it's still a lot more like the iconic Mega Man. I mean, Mega Man 2 this is what people think about when they think of Mega Man. They think of Mega Man 2 and I guess probably Mega Man 3. Those are the big ones. And, you know, people think about those. And there's a reason. This is the first Mega Man that has, you know, the staples of what Mega Man became. The rest of has all the things. And I think it's... you know, I think it also is the best-selling one of the original Mega Man games. It's one where it's challenging, but it is balanced pretty well, and it doesn't feel like it's totally a bunch of padding or unfair bullshit. And it's fun. It's got a good level, just a great layer of polish on top of what was already a solidly fun experience, anyways. And again, it's pretty easily available. It's one where I guess if you're gonna get into Mega Man, play this one, because if you like this one, you'll probably like Mega Man, like original Mega Man. It's probably the one you'd want to start with, even as one of the essentials, I would say. Though, Mega Man fans probably have already played this, because this is probably what made them Mega Man fans in the first place for a lot of people. So it's hard to recommend it to them, since they're already like, well, duh. But if you're looking to get it, like various collections, just like the first one, various collections, and it's in different forms here and there. I guess this would probably be worth, I would say, like $25 or less, depending on the form where you can find it. The form in which you find it, whatever. Because it's a classic, especially for like NES, for Mega Man, for gaming in general. It's a big one, and I feel like you should experience this at least once if you want to get an idea of why people are nuts about Mega Man. It's definitely one of those. So definitely check it out if you get the chance. I don't know. I'm just glad that I finally just got Dr. Wily all straightened out, and I won't have to worry about him anymore.
Mega Man.